Okay, our next speaker, Bennie Smith, is a Memphis-based financial analytics manager for an electrical engineering and industrial automation company, where he converges technical expertise with forward-thinking, creativity, and statistics to construct innovative solutions and broaden the use of actionable analytics in finance. His passion for political strategy inspired him to develop a micro-targeting application and method to predict voter turnout. He believes this is the ultimate solution to evening the playing field and lowering candidates' costs of competing. In August 2014, Smith was approached by several candidates who insisted their elections had been stolen. Though he disagreed, he offered to examine how the system works. After discovering an uncomfortable number of irregularities, Smith began to research how votes that originate from the same source can change once they get into the GEMS, Global Election Management System. Counts about 99% of American votes in various ways, paper ballots and touchscreen. Vote tabulation program. His work was featured as the cover story in Bloomberg Businessweek. Fraction Magic is the proof of concept that he created in collaboration with blackboxvoting.org. Shout out Beth Harris. Was also covered by Bloomberg in their cybersecurity segment. Smith's research uncovered an extraordinarily high-risk tampering mechanism and ultimately provided a new infrastructure for analyzing questionable election results. Bennie, we owe you a lot, and we're going to do this together. First, you're with your computer there. Is that mic on? Let's make it live. I'd like you to be on that mic, and I'm going to be over here with the pointer. Okay, Bennie Smith.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it, Mimi.
Bennie, I'm going to just, I'm good. Go ahead. Tell us what you want to tell us, and I'll ask questions if it's unclear to me.
Okay, let me share my screen.
It's what they call in the weeds, but you're going to see what happens undetectably.
Okay, so the anomalies that I started studying and the infrastructure that she's referring to is that our election systems count us like we're cents on the dollar. It doesn't. If you just reason with yourself, you are one person. I'm a little tall. Some people are a little short, but we are all just one person, right? No matter what you do when you go into the polling place, you should be counted as one person. I started finding things that I see in finance that are really common when you're dealing with in finance what they call allocations. So I started seeing these anomalies show up in voting results, and I thought, yeah, no, that's probably not it. So after I did the research and I got there and I saw that the framework was intentionally inside of the voting applications, I got this morbid feeling, and then the intrigues, made me say, well, why is it there, right? So we are going to try to skip through the math lessons of it and just give you guys a driver side view, and we are literally going to take shout out again to Bev Harris. She received a lot of the Global Election Management System proprietary information from numerous court cases. Me, her, Mimi, John Brakey, Lulu. We all sat down, we looked at this stuff intensively, and we just came up with a real proof mechanism where I am basically reenacting a crime scene. CSI Broward County is what, that's Emily.
Yeah.
CSI Broward County. So we are going to take this reenactment, and I want to caution everybody to just understand what I'm going to show you. Everything that you see inside of a black box, that's the reenactment. Everything else is already there.
So, Bennie, and this is one of the points I want to clarify. You're going to see Bennie apply a program that he reverse engineered according to a hunch he had, which was possible given that he found fraction counting inside vote tabulators. We are not cents on the dollar. You don't need to say 93% of my taxes equals da-da-da and 43 cents. We are one person. Once he found the fractions, he said, oh my God, would this be possible? So he reverse engineered his own thing to do this. But what we want you to understand is the capacity to do it exists in all our tabulators. So software counts alone, logic and accuracy tests notwithstanding, they don't work against this. This is what can happen. You're going to see the crime reenactment that's as phony as, the FBI story, which we once had our house actually filmed in. Like, oh yeah, I wasn't making money as an actress at the time. We let our house do it. But it's a reenactment. But the capacity is there, and if Benny could reverse engineer a way to do this, just saying, okay, Benny.
Okay, let me move this guy out the way. He's going to be in the way. Okay, so I'm going to open what the election administrators open. There's some things that we have some ground rules. In elections, when the returns come in, it's over time. Because this is a court case document that we have received the election, you have to assume that the election is already complete. So you're going to see 100% of the returns in because this isn't live. The returns aren't coming in. Just use your imagination. If we can do it one time, we can keep doing it over and over again.
Are you going to show us the pie of before fraction magic and the pie of after fraction
magic? Yeah, I'm going to do it in real time.
Good.
I'm going to do it in real time. So I'm going to open, if you just imagine on election night, I'm going to wear two hats right now. I'm the election administrator who sells the software at the front door, and then when you turn into the black boxes, I'm going to be the fixer who is selling elections out the back door. All right, so I'm going to be the election administrator now, and I'm going to go into our elections, our example elections database, and I'm going to open up the actual.
Yeah, good. Let's turn off these lights. And
I just got darker.
good, nice. Are you okay, Benny?
Yeah, I'm
right.
still black.
Well, you're working in the dark as the fixer, so I guess it's
Right,
appropriate.
Right.
No
I
light
didn't
on
change.
you.
I didn't change anyway. Okay. I'm trying to keep y'all interested in math. Right? All right. So when the returns come in, this part you're going to need to see all of what is here. So this actually you can't. I can magnify it just so you can have a cursory glance of what it is before I start doing everything. But this is what I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, so in Shelby County, this is what we used. Imagine that the Global Elections Management System, the icon for this application is the world in the palm of my hand. Dang.
Okay.
Dang. All right, so this is the actual program. I'm going to start the pie charts for election night. So inside of here, you go and you run the results server. I'm going to run it.
Yeah, we can't read it, Benny. So
Yeah,
you're going to look at the pie chart of what happened when the election was all in.
This is just a results server.
We're going to see the results.
I'm going to start it so some returns can start coming in. So I start it, and just imagine that the machines they start collecting machines together. They start sending their totals to the central tabulator. This is at the central tabulator level where all of the votes start to get counted and aggregated together.
Okay.
So now I open up the client that shows this.
Results display.
Yes, the results display.
All right.
Yeah, y'all guys can walk up if y'all. So
There we go. Now,
that's how you get everybody in the front seats.
100% of the election is in.
Yes.
On this screen. And this is who won. Oh, Bill Haslam won with 49.32% of the vote. It was 38,212 votes, and Bill Haslam was the winner. Let's see that pie chart for Bill. He's red part. He's a Republican guy. Wow, 49.32 is a squeaker for him because the other two Zach Wamp got 28.73, and Ron Ramsey in third came in with 20.70 of the vote. You can see the totals, 22,000 down to 16,000. Then there were a couple other guys, Joe Kirkpatrick in the race. He only got 702 votes. And Basil Marceau, senior, 219 votes. I wonder if they're watching. See, what you're going to see what could have happened in your election. Okay, so this is before Fraction Magic. This is the real vote count. And this is the governor race we're going to look at. This is the one Benny is going to show you Fraction Magic about. What happens,
Okay,
Benny?
so I'm going to be the local. I'm the fixer now, and I really don't like Bill Haslam. So I don't want him running. I don't want him running against me again. So I need him to come in like third or fourth, so he can think that his political career is over with. I would like for Zach Wamp to be the winner.
You want Zach to win.
That's the guy that you can say is the establishment guy, but he doesn't have enough name ID. We'll give it to him on election night. Ron Ramsey is going to probably be a close second. No, Joe Kirkpatrick,
Yeah.
who only has 702 votes.
Yeah.
We're going to give him a Colbert bump and put him up to second place.
Second place.
Yeah, we'll put him up to second place.
And people are going to buy that, even though only 702 people in the district versus 22,000 for Zach. They're going to buy that.
So for our mock election, some kind of scandal that was just factored in the closing weeks before the
Okay.
voting started opening. Something happened where this guy, Bill Haslam, had some problems, and this Kirkpatrick guy really took a stand against it. So his numbers automatically started trending, and the people started making him the native son or something like
Alrighty.
that.
Okay, so show us what
scenario
happened
that goes for that.
if
So now,
the fixer fixes.
with the election returns still showing, I'm going to open up one other one. I'm going to gloss past it. It's just to show you one simple thing, and it's the election summary report. So in the local place where people are sitting in the actual commission, they're not looking at the pie charts. They're actually getting the reports that come out. So I'm going to put the report here also. I'll zoom in so you can see the actual totals.
Are we at 100% of the district?
We are still at 100%
Okay, we're
for
still
this.
100%?
So these are just the same totals displayed a different way.
All right.
You can see who the votes went to.
Yeah.
Bill Haslam is obviously our winner. Same scenario. I'm
Okay.
gonna move some real estate out the way because I'm gonna open up the bad stuff.
Okay.
I'm going to open the Fraction Magic application, which is the reenactment of what a person would do if they were the fixer. So now
And
I'm going
you-
to be the fixer.
You told me it's up here as a small R, or there's a little letter that you can see and I can't.
Well, I'm going to open it. You won't be
Okay.
able to see it, and
All
I'm going
right.
to. Fraction Magic is now running. It's up here where I'm highlighting, and tell me if you can see it.
I can't see anything.
Can anybody see it? I'm going to do something.
Okay.
I'm going to open up oh, it's there. I'm going to open up something, and then I'm going to switch to it.
Okay.
Now can you see it?
No.
Oh, look a little closer. I don't think it's streaming on. I don't think it's streaming on here. This is right here. Yeah, let me do it in Zoom. Let me do it in Zoom. Let me zoom in. It is obscure. It is very obscure.
No, I mean, when you were on Zoom, the Zoom.
Yeah, I'm in the Zoom now. Oh yeah.
You chose which video,
Yeah.
which screen to share.
Can you see it?
Choose that.
Pro Gems, is that what I'm supposed
No,
to
you can't
look
see
at?
anything on the. It's not showing it on
No,
the screen.
you can't see. You can see it on your computer.
Yeah, you see it. You see it on my screen, right? I'm actually turn my screen around for the sorry for the people streaming online, but you guys can see it.
Oh, there's.
See this top square right here? It is very hidden, but you see this.
It's kind of ghostly.
It's a gray square.
Gray
Yes.
square,
Yes.
grayed out.
It's very obscure, right? It's
Okay.
it's there so that I know it's there, but everybody else that's sitting right here saying, "Hey, the election
Okay.
returns are coming in."
All right, so go ahead.
All right, so I'll move all this stuff out the way. I'm going to tell Fraction Magic now that I want to start taking the results, right? So I'm gonna type in my little magic code. 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000, 8 1,000, and I'm done. Now, for everybody who's watching online, I want to show them that this is ethical. So I say that this is Fraction Magic. an ethical swap complete. So now when I close this, I open up the results. So if I refresh the results, everything is still in the same thing. Everything is still left in place. And I bring the results open. Don't make me look bad. We now have a new winner.
Okay, Zach womped.
Yeah, I like
He
that.
womped. He did very well with 56.87% of the vote. Zach, looks like, you didn't change the red color next to Zach's.
Well, Zach the winner always gets the red.
Oh,
the
I
red,
didn't know that. I
the
thought
red
it
pie
was a
chart.
political designation.
Yes.
Okay, so Zach got the winner. And what else? He got 44,000 votes instead. Ron Ramsey is second. Bill Haslam, the winner, is third. And Joe Kirkpatrick had a nice 200 more votes of his showing.
Yeah, I thought I put him in second
Did
place,
you-
but I didn't.
Did you predetermine the percentages? Did you say, I want Zach Womp by to have 57%? Well, how did you do this?
Not exactly 57%. You have to mimic something that's realistic. So what I have to do is use an enormous amount of political savvy to understand demographics, which you would get from a poll book. I would have to look at election history, which you would get from a poll book.
Oh, if you hack the voter rolls and
You have to
online
have the voter rolls
registration, you could
to
get that.
know where your political
Okay.
strongholds are. I can't give votes to Zach Womp, but I can give them to Joe Kirkpatrick. I can move the totals around. So I did a blend of things, and I did it at the precinct level. There are precincts that you can't touch. There are precincts that get audited.
Yep.
And for those ones, you can just skip them.
That's why when you run into a registrar, as we did in California, who pre-selects the precincts, those ones that will be audited know ahead of time, and Fraction Magic, a savvy political operator, will make sure this Fraction Magic doesn't touch that precinct. All will be well. We
Come on up,
suspected
Clint. I'm
it.
honored to have this guy in here. So let me go to the next one, the next report, because
Okay.
it's a clear here. We did a little bit of, I like what they do in brain games. We took a few more elections too, just so you don't think that it's just one election. We also took the Congressional District 8 for the Republican. We took the Congressional District 9 for the Republican. We took the Congressional District 9 for the Democrat.
In the
There
crime
were-
scene.
Yeah, in this, when we ran it this time, we did it on everything. But let me show you this, because now this one is still showing Haslam as a winner because we haven't refreshed it, right?
Okay.
So now I'm going to not leave the system. I'm just going to re-preview that's what happens. You should say, hey, let's refresh the results. Let's preview it again. And we left some goodies there for you to understand what I was talking about.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So now we see Bill Haslam at the top with 11,773 votes and 0.67 cents.
That's how you know it was at work. That's the fraction capacity. It's in every single tabulator.
Why is that there?
Why?
Why is that? That is the main thing that makes what I'm talking about possible. I just conducted a weighted election where I gave the weight to the candidate that I wanted to win. And the candidates that were in the fray, they adjusted as far along the number line to make my percentage real. So not only did I do it there, there's a 2,400, I guess I could show the other guys. There's a 2,400 page report that I did it at the precinct level also. I think I counted to 8, maybe 10 seconds. Now this all happened in a matter of seconds. So if you look at this this next race for
Benny, I love looking at each of the races, but I would prefer to ask a few practical
Okay.
questions. May I?
we can do that.
All right. I want to know when you would insert this program into a tabulator, how much access you'd have to have, whether you're a physical guy or woman, how would you do it? Or if you were a cyberspace person, how would you do it?
You need about 20 seconds of access to connect some type of way to the computer. You got spear phishing attempts, you have malware, you have inside access, you have some way where you get something that you can control onto this actual PC.
Okay,
And that will happen at the time that the returns come in.
okay.
You want to do it at the central tabulator.
Yeah.
You can go to the machines, but why go to the machines when you can just wait for them all to come to
So
you?
you're doing it in the central tabulator, which is why John Simon has always said, I want the raw numbers from the precinct. There are times when the precinct numbers, if they're counted there on some sort of tabulators, ES&S precinct ballot recorders, and they post them by law, the precinct returns still somewhere, that number would be different than what happens after fraction magic works on the tabulator on a precinct. This win by by Zach Wamp would only happen in the central tabulator.
Correct. And that's
It would be on the precinct level. Would you not see Zach's adjusted stuff from the precinct? In other words, he got 900 votes in this precinct, but at the precinct he only got 300 votes.
and in my study that Bloomberg wrote about,
Yeah.
I went to a polling place that my predictions program told me would have the most dense turnout. That's the highest number, and the covering, that if you wanted to take any results, you have to take it where you can't get caught. You have to have it in the most dense areas. If you're taking votes away, it's not as noticeable. And I took a picture, shout out to BlackBerry. I took a picture with my BlackBerry phone, and the polling tape that I took in the picture in the window on election night, when they sent out this report that is on the screen now, my poll tape had 548 people participating. The tabulated results had 330 people participating.
Uh-huh.
Now, if anybody know the number line, we should be going to the right, not to the left, right? So, and if you look at this one right here, and I will be done after this, you can see this looks like we're talking about how much money somebody has, right? If you see all these decimal places, now it's different. It's like we're looking at money, right?
Yeah.
And this is what I did at each level. I gave him 67%. I gave him 18%. I gave him 100% of this, 28% of this. This is the allocation piece. And I guess we can open the allocation
And they're
table.
different. So you can do fraction magic to the absentees only, for instance, if that's on your mind. Or
Yes.
maybe only on the provisionals if that's what you
Yes,
want to
or
do.
vote by mail, or
You can just touch something that's not audited, like provisionals and late arriving mail ballots in California this year. Nobody's looking and nobody's going to catch it.
that is
Because
correct.
they broke it down like that. You can do fraction magic as a breakdown choice.
Yes, and this is like a 2,500 page report, but I mean, I just wanted to do it in there for a second.
Okay.
All right.
Benny, is there anything more you want to warn us about, given?
Yes, I would like to open Fraction Magic one more time so that you guys can see the black boxes that kind of enabled this. This is the program, the reenactment, where the way the software is written, I said, tell me everybody who's running, and I would like to influence, and we influenced the governor's race. So this is where I set the options, and I predetermined how much a person was going to get. And
Oh
it's a
my
simple
God.
table. It's 200 records. It's a simple table that basically said in precinct, which is Roselle Elementary, where I'm highlighting for 0100, Zach Wamp was going to get 60% of early voting. Well, 60.
That's your choice,
0.8496.
not the voters.
You can't just do a plain percent. You know, you got to have some trailing. You got to have some trailing digits behind it. 68498498. I just typed anything. So he had a reasonable night in early voting. He killed it in absentee ballot. You know, the overseas people like him, the military people like him, so
Get all
he
those
killed it in
excuses.
absentee ballot.
Yeah.
And he had an okay night at the polls, right?
At the
Maybe because
polls.
everybody voted early for him already. Clean shoot.
At the polls. So that's when you, yes. Well, I was just going to say, Bev Harris has often talked about a three-pronged strategy, one of which is media. So when we hear explanations about all the Democrats voted in or all the Republicans vote early ballots, you know, you'll get explanations that explain prefabricated choices sometimes. I mean, you know, it makes me a suspicious cuss, but all we have to do look at the paper ballots and preserve ballot images, and then we don't have to worry about this in November. Chris,
If I could interject before Chris.
Yeah.
In my study, I tried to get at those images, and I could not.
Oh.
you cannot break a picture up. You know, I can cut your arm off if you let me count you as money, right? But I can't do that to a picture. What is I'm gonna half fill in the oval. It's still gonna count as one person, right? I can only do this at the aggregate levels, and that's the infrastructure that we learned after the exercise. Was that if you wanted to preserve anything, you need to preserve the picture ballots and the paper ballots, because they have to go hand in hand. You can manipulate a picture, but it's going to take a whole lot of time, and you ain't going to do it on election night. So if I'm the fixer and you come after my images, I'm going to get rid of them.
Funny how that
I'm going to have to get rid of them.
Okay. Bennie Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you,
All right.
Bennie. Yeah, Bennie. Thank you. Yep.
Okay, y'all can stop.
All right. Susan Pinchot once cried when she saw something hacked, and when Bennie did what he did, tears came to my eyes. It's okay. Go ahead, Chris Sutter.
I wanted to ask one quick question.
Attorney
Of our
privilege.
There's a landmark United States Supreme Court case. There's a landmark United States Supreme Court case called Baker versus Carr, which coincidentally came out of Tennessee, which establishes the principle of what they called then one man, one vote, which we all refer to now as one person, one vote. Have there been any judicial challenges to this?
There will be, I think.
Because it's a
Can't
very
prove it.
basic, it would be a very, I think, a slam dunk.
Take the fractions out of the gems. Lulu?
Okay. So, when I was researching this, I found out that they had fractions in the actual election systems in Illinois. The lead attorney in Illinois had admitted this, and I called him and I talked to him. I said, why do you have fractions running in your election systems? Why do you need that? And he said, first off, he acknowledged that they had it. I said, are the fractions running in your systems? And he said, yes, they do have that capability. And he said the reason why is because there are these some obscure elections
Water
where
district,
it
I
has
think.
to do with land usage. And if you're in these particular types of elections, if you own like 5 parcels of land and someone else only owns 2 parcels of land, then you get 5 votes to their 2 votes, and you need a fraction. And these are very, very rare, obscure elections, but because of that rationale, they were able to say, well, then we need the program, and so then they just put it in all of their
That's
election
right.
systems. So that was the rationale for this program, which clearly is not normally necessary.